Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the not the guys, TG Cuties podcast. Um, first episode since the pilot. This would be episode 1. I hope y'all are enjoying, whatever you're doing today. Oh, alright. What shall I talk about? Let's find out. What's something that we can talk about, guys? What do y'all want to talk about? Nada. Okay. Well, I am just going to go on a rant about what I've been doing recently. So, I watched Dexter. That was pretty cool. Let me actually go on a rant about that. So, my favorite character is Angel Batista. And if you don't know, Angel Batista is pretty cool. He's like a Mexican American, great, cool, awesome detective. And he's also just kind of that guy. He is him. You know what I mean? He's probably the second best character next to Dexter. But yeah, I watched Dexter. The spoilers ahead. But basically, the show, he like chops up bad guys and stuff, and like it's pretty cool. It is like really cool. He's like a vigilante. Like, think Batman. No, think the Punisher. Think the Punisher, but instead of like going like all these different crazy ways to kill people, he just like chops them up. He kills them and then chops them up. He always has the same ritual of how he kills people, unless for some reason the day is not going well with him. He has done some other types of kills if he had to. But he's like, just think like the Punisher, but more scary, honestly. The Punisher is like more of a scary character. While, no, the Punisher is more like just a vigilante almost like Spider-Man or Batman when you think vigilante almost. But, Batman doesn't really kill people, nor does Spider-Man, but the Punisher definitely kills people. He definitely does. Also, there's Dexter books, which if you haven't read, they're very cool. I watched Dexter New Blood, which was awesome. It has Dexter's son, Harrison, in it. A little bit older Dexter. A little bit older Harrison, but it has him in it, which is pretty cool. In the end, though, he ends up shooting Dexter because Dexter ended up doing something that Dexter probably should not have done. What else? What else is there? There's, oh yeah, Dexter Original Sin, which is like Dexter's past. So after he shoots Dexter, we get an ending, right? And that ending goes into Original Sin, where there's a young Dexter, very young. It's like him seeing back his life almost, and we get to see. Oh, do y'all know Patrick Dempsey? Like the Patrick Dempsey. He's in Original Sin. He plays the chief. Now, crazy, right? That is not where it goes completely out of like the woo zone. So basically, in Original Sin, the chief ends up being the bad guy, right? He's killed all these kids, all this other stuff, and he's gone actually, like, he's bonkers. All because his wife divorced him and he found out the kid wasn't his. So he killed this kid that was like Judge Powell's kid. And he was going to kill his own kid. Not really his own, but it basically was his kid. We don't know if the kid actually wasn't his or not. We don't actually know that. We really don't know the full story. He might have just been crazy, and he might have just thought the kid wasn't his. We don't really know that part. But it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like he's actually just crazy. And that's not the craziest part of it, though. It's even crazier he ends up on Dexter's table once, but then he ends up getting away. So Dexter finds him in the boat, and Dexter saves his kid. He was going to let his kid drown. And then, finally, he was on this boat, right? He leaves the kid on the boat. The kid gets rescued. He catches up to Dempsey's character, a.k.a. Patrick, I think his name was. And he ends up, he ends up killing this character. And he's also the chief, by the way. The character is the chief. But what he does is he gets him out on his boat and kills him on the boat. That's not the, it isn't really his boat yet, though. I'm still really curious about how he gets that boat. Because right now he's borrowing a boat from, some family friend, I guess. The one who keeps the files safe and all that. Anyways, aside from that, yeah, he kills him, then he dumps him over into the water. And he notices that the bodies, when he dumps the body into the water, he doesn't really dump the body into the water. He cuts it up, of course, first, like Dexter does, and he throws the body into the water. He realizes that those parts are not going to be found. So that's when he starts to put in his head, well, with these, I could, what's the word I'm looking for? This could be my new killing tactic. Now, there's one more crazy thing about this season. We also see his brother Brian, and y'all know who Brian is, Brian Moser. And Brian Moser is like, whoa, crazy, out of pocket, outrageous, unbelievable. Like, the craziest thing you've ever seen. And he's literally, like, about to... He's, like, stalking Dexter. At all the crime scenes, he's stalking Dexter. And Dexter is, like, so... He doesn't know it. He doesn't even remember his brother Brian. He only knows his sister Deb. But anyways, Brian is really jealous of Harry and Deb. And he even kills his old social worker. And he even tries to kill Harry, or was gonna kill Harry, but he didn't kill Harry. And in all reality, that could have been very bad. And we see at the end, Deb, Dexter, and Harry are eating, and then they go out to dance, and where they're eating, and Brian is watching them. That's what I mean. Brian is stalking Dexter. Now, here are 3 theories that I have in Dexter Resurrection. We already, for the most part, know that Batista is coming back, so that's not really a big deal. But the 3 theories that I have, number 1 is that I feel like we are going to see some very crazy things. Dexter is going to have to find even another new way of killing. In Dexter, the original show, and in Dexter Original Sin, we know that he decided to start using the boat. He dumping the bodies in water is his way to go. Now, in Dexter New Blood, he can't really drop the bodies in the water. The people he did kill, which he only ever ended up having 2 kills, I think, in Dexter New Blood. I could be wrong. Maybe he had some more. But his 2 or 3 kills, he ended up having to burn them. He ended up having to burn the bodies, which is not his preferred technique. Now, I have a feeling that he's going to find some new routes in Dexter Resurrection. Whether it be burning, acid, or even worse, he's going to find a new route. and I don't know what that road's going to be. But also, there's another show I'm watching, which I'm just going to talk about because why not? The show is called YellowJackets. The YellowJackets are like this group of teen girls. They're a soccer team. It's a soccer team. They're a soccer team of teen girls. There is, so far, the ones I can name off the top of my head are Lottie, Shauna, Van, Natalie, Misty, who else? I think there's some more I can name. Thaisa, Crystal, Crystal, Jackie, which y'all are about to find out something about those two. Travis, Javi, Coach Ben, and there's also some other characters, like there's Kevin, Randy, I'm trying to remember that one guy's name. Oh, there's Jeff, and there's... Yeah, okay. So Jackie and Crystal, what was I saying about them? They both die. How do they die? Well, Crystal, her and Misty were best friends. And Misty goes a little bit crazy, accidentally admits a secret that, and this is something that happens in the beginning of the series, she ends up breaking the signal box. Now, that's crazy, right? That's crazy and all. She ends up telling Crystal this, like, many episodes later, literally a season after she's done this. By the way, you know what, let me explain the basis of the show. It kind of goes back and forth to current time and past time. In the past, they actually had a plane crash. They were on the soccer team heading to nationals, and their plane crashed, and a lot of people died. But they had survivors. The survivors were Laura Lee, Crystal, Lottie, Natalie, Travis, Javi, Coach Ben, Van, and a bunch of the others I named. Now, the ones that weren't there that I named from before, Jeff, Randy, and Kevin, have nothing to do with the people that were on the plane. They do, but they weren't on the plane, okay? They were not there when the plane crashed. Thank goodness for them. They were lucky. Now, in the beginning, the coach had lost his leg. There were some people that were injured. And Misty was helping. And Misty was kind of a nerd, right? They kind of did not like her. They were kind of mean to her. She got bullied. And she finally felt needed. So she did what she thought could finally make it so she could get attention again. So she was finally felt needed. So she did what she thought was the best for her. And broke the signal box. Anyways, later on she tells Crystal this. And Crystal's like, but how could you? You're the reason we're still stuck out here. And then she says, you're not my best friend, you're a psycho. And then Misty says, I will kill you if you tell anybody. And then she ends up falling off the cliff. Crystal does. And Misty's freaking out. Misty's going through a lot. Now, Laura Lee and Jackie, those are two. Laura Lee was actually the first one to die. Now, Laura Lee died in a plane crash. But it's weird because the plane didn't crash. And you might be asking, plane crash? How did that happen? They found a plane. Laura Lee learned how to use it and could have probably gotten somewhere if for some reason the plane didn't suddenly catch flames. Yeah. The bear next to her caught flames and the plane blew up. Which, you know what, might just be a weird coincidence, you know, combustion, things randomly catching on fire. I mean, that just happens, right? Yeah, no. It doesn't just happen. I mean, it does sometimes, but not like that. It doesn't just, like, combust. A teddy bear doesn't usually just combust. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was her teddy bear. I think his name was Leonard or something. Some weird name. Anyways. Yeah. Her teddy bear just combusted. Which was weird. It caught on fire. Which, how? How does that happen? There is definitely something out in the woods. Then, the friend Jackie. Now, Jackie is Shauna's best friend. Which, Shauna survived the wilderness. How do I know this? Because her and Jeff get married. And they're in the future. Like I said, it goes back and forth between the past and the future. Anyways, Jackie died. How did Jackie die? Well, while they were out there, they got in an argument. The group did not like Jackie for a moment at a time. And they ended up telling her, well, go then. So Jackie did. And she slept outside in the cold. Now, it was winter time. They hadn't expected it to snow yet because it hadn't snowed before. But snow happened to hit that night. And while Jackie was sleeping outside, no shelter, she froze to death in her sleep. To make matters worse, they wanted to cremate the body. The body did not want to be cremated. The body stayed intact and cooked like a rotisserie chicken. And what happened? Well, as you guys can probably assume, they ate her. Yeah, guys, they ate her. Which is insanity, if you ask me. So, yeah. Insanity. Literal insanity. Anyways, turns out the survivors. Let's just talk about the survivors, right? There is Lottie. No, wait. Let's not talk about Lottie yet because there's something with her. There is Natalie, Travis, Shauna, Misty, Van, and Thaisa. Now, as for Travis wasn't around long. He ended up, quote unquote, unaliving himself, but he didn't actually unalive himself. It was an accident with him and Lottie. Now, Lottie, let's talk about her. Natalie gets kidnapped. She was about to unalive herself after everything with Travis, and all of a sudden these people in purple cult uniforms kidnap her. We find out that's Lottie's group. Lottie is out of the mental institution. She was crazy. She had visions and stuff when she was out in the woods. She's a schizophrenic. We don't know what's wrong with her, but she's a little bit cuckoo. She was in a mental institution in a completely different country, and all of a sudden now she's running this wellness cult group all across in another part of the country, in New York. Now, Nat goes there. She's kind of stuck there. She meets this girl, Lisa, whatever. They're friends. Or Lisa wants to be her friend. Natalie's kind of... If y'all seen the show, y'all know how Natalie is. Then Misty goes. Then Shauna goes. Then Thaisa and Van go. That's as far as I've seen. I haven't watched the episode that comes after. I'm on season 2, episode 7 now. And it's crazy. But... they just came out with season 3. I wonder if season 3 is going to be the end. I hope not. But what am I going to name this episode? Let me name it YellowJackets and Dexter and YellowJackets. Because, yeah, that's really what it is. Trying to think of what the outro should be. If y'all want to hear me talk about more shows, there's a lot of shows I like. I could sit here and yap about The Walking Dead. I could sit here and yap about movies, even like Encanto or some movie I watched, or like Interstellar. Ooh, that was a good movie. I would yap about that actually. Or even yap about just like true crime and stuff. I mean, that would be cool. Or even historical, or even movie crime or show crime, the Bay Harbor Butcher, Dexter. Oh, you know what? I do my research on the Bay Harbor Butcher and have a podcast episode about it. Do a fictional episode on the Bay Harbor Butcher and Dexter universe. That'd be cool. But anyways, I will see you all next time. If y'all want this to become a TV show podcast, or like a true crime podcast, either way, let me know. Or like a fictional crime podcast, let me know, because that'd be cool. Either way, any of those would be cool. Or even we could talk about music. I don't know. I always have fun things to talk about. But for now, bye-bye, guys. Bye freaking bye.